Hey there, welcome back. It is so great to see you. We're going to be doing makeup chores number 2. I did this back in January, February, a while back. It'll be linked below, and I wanted to do another one, so it's going to be a hodgepodge of repurposing, reorganizing, of recanting, depotting, all sorts of good things. So if that sounds interesting, then keep on watching. So I have the sudden urge to want to kind of redecorate this section of my vanity because I worked on that side already. I had to change things up, move things around, make things just a little bit different to kind of revamp my space. I always get these little itches of where I want to move things around, I want to reorganize, I want to redo, I want to redecorate, and this is one of those moments. I am suffering from a cough right now, so if my voice sounds deeper off than normal, that is why, but I wanted to just record this because I've been enjoying these like makeup chores. I did one a while back. I condensed and went through all of my lipsticks and only kept the ones that I know I will use, I like, I wear, and I used to have like all the way up until this drawer here. So since I decluttered a lot of them, I only have just these couple of, well, several of the drawers, and I feel like having all of that empty space here doesn't really make sense for me if I'm not going to be buying any more lipsticks, filling those drawers up, and it just looks a little off for me. I do have decoration at the top up here, it's always stayed there. These palettes are my May Focus palettes because I like to keep them on the side so that way I use them. And then these are other like project palettes here at the bottom that are also there to remind me to use. So what I want to do is just simply get rid of these and bring down all of these drawers to bring everything down and then kind of move this on top of that. I don't know, something along those lines I want to do. Okay, so this is how it looks afterwards that I removed all those extra drawers here that I didn't really need since I condensed all of my lipsticks about a month or so ago. At the top here, I moved the two little figurines next to where I house my palettes at, because I really don't know where to stick those. Up here are all of my focus palettes for each month that I stack up and can easily grab and things like that. So this used to be down here, and then I moved it up here just so that I have more space on my actual vanity. I did end up adding this one, which is kind of almost empty, but it just houses my lip balms and things like that, which I only have one of. And then I just kept the labels that I made last time, so they're just in order of my nudes, my pink berries, my oranges, my reds, and then browns. And then on the side of it stays the same. This is why can't I think? Pens, markers, Sharpies for products so that I know when I finish a product. These are all of my liquid eyeliners, and then back there is all of my pencil eyeliners. Here, this is a palette of singles, if I can open it. This is one of the shades that I'm focused for Deck of Panning, so that kind of stays next to me so I remember to use it. This one I brought out from my decluttered makeup because I had an idea to use this as an eyeshadow. I don't know. We'll see. I'm bringing in old makeup just to stop me from buying new. We'll even see how that goes. This palette I also brought in for Deck of Panning, so that is staying here until I finish it. And then, of course, one of my other decluttered palettes in a new series that I'm starting, or that I had started, and this palette kind of stays here next to me, so that way it also reminds me to use that. So this is how everything is looking. I'm very happy that it's not as high and it only houses just the lipsticks that I have and that I own, and I don't have any like extra empty space because I think that was just a little unnecessary. So I'm very proud with how that looks. Okay, and then here I ended up putting the empty or the leftover drawers from my vanity into my closet, so it's just left over 8 of them since I did have a total of 20, which I know is excessive looking back at it now, but I'm very happy with putting these aside in case I ever do need these to add more, which I really hope not, but it's just extra storage here in my closet. It'll get put away, it'll stay there, or I could use it for other things here in my closet, but that's where they'll be housed at for now. Alright, so since this is the last look I needed to complete for my May Focus palettes, I'm going to go ahead and input it into my document, so I wanted to show just a little bit of this. I either have a video up already explaining or showing all like how I track my no pan left behind, how I track my project pans, how I go about organizing my Google document. If that is up, I will link it. If not, it'll definitely come. What we're looking at right now is the section of where I keep my tracked uses for each of the shades for every single month when I pull out all of my palettes. But I will be scrolling down to kind of track the last few shades that I used in today's look. I'm sorry that I'm holding my camera and it is kind of a little shaky, but so we go in here. So Peach, the BYS Peach was one of the palettes. I did use Brazen today, so we'll mark that off and check mark it off. I scroll down to High Tide. The next palette I had used is Sweet Talk. Melody was the last shade I needed to use in this one. We'll go ahead and put one use because I just used it once. I used a shade from the Glamlight and Michaela palette. I needed to use the shade Gemini once more. The previous use was from my 4 Looks 1 palette that I started when I got that palette, which was like December probably, and I finished it a couple of months ago. Anyways, point being, those are those tracked uses and why it's already marked off. And then I also used 2 more shades. So the other one being from my Morphine Jaclyn Hill palette. I used a shade called Soda Pop because I had 9 uses. To complete that, I need that palette all year round. I'm trying to use every single shade 10 times just to make up for its lack of use, and I talk more about it in the Pan That Palette update. I kind of talk about it every single month before my monthly palette challenge. Anyways, I hit my 10 use goal, so then we will also write that in my notes section. Goal in May. The last shade I had used is my NYX single. I have Frostbite in my project pan, or not my project pan, in my Deck of Panning, excuse me. And I am aiming to use that shade in 9 times. By the time that this video is up, that Deck of Panning update will probably already be done. Oh, I did not mean to do 9. I was talking about it 9 uses. Okay, so I've used it once today. And then I go back to the Project Pan tab. I have to scroll down to my Deck of Panning section. So since I had used the shade Frostbite again, I will input that. And then, I did not mean to do all that. And then I also used the Peacock shade, or not shade, eyeliner and I use that my third use today, so that is good. And then we will, instead of working on, I will put finish. So last night I realized that I still have some of my singles in these little components, and I wanted to kind of depot them. I kind of want to take them out of here, make them magnetic, that way I can put them in my big old book of like single eyeshadows so that I could easily, I guess, grab them more, or like know that I have them, and they're kind of all in one place. So that's kind of what I want to do today. See if I can do that with these, and see if I can do that with this one. I have a really old flat iron here. It is up to a really high temperature. It goes up to like 480 or something, yes, or 460. Have a sort of like heating mat thing to where it won't ruin my vanity surface, since this is where I'm doing my makeup. So I have that. I have these. A little behind the scenes, I'm watching one of my favorite streamers on Twitch, Headshot Chick, so that's what we'll be doing. Okay, so they're done. I already put the magnetic back into them. I label them so that way whenever I want to use them, sorry, I'm all over the place. So they'll magnetize in there. So the tape doesn't interfere. I've labeled stuff like that all the time. There's the end one I just did over here, so that's going to be in this palette for a little bit. But yeah, so those are magnetized. They came out safely. It worked. I just had to be patient. And yes, I'm happy that they're out of the little components, because these just kind of sit around and waste space in my drawer, and I don't like it. So I'm glad that they all came out pretty easily. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I will catch you in my next one. Goodbye, guys.